Hey everybody, it's David at Barnyard Bees. Well, today's video, and there's been a lot of talk about this, so let's go ahead and address it. The talks of the murder hornet that everyone's been talking about for going on a few months now. I guess I've been hearing everybody talking about the murder hornet and that it's going to sweep across the country, wipe out all the honeybee population, and no more honeybees, and we're all going to starve to death. Well, if you ask me, is the murder hornet a danger to honeybees? My answer to that question is absolutely yes. And it's not because of the hornet. My opinion, this is that I think. Since everyone is talking about this murder hornet, what it's going to do is decrease the amount of beekeepers in the country. People are going to be afraid to buy bees, afraid that something may happen, that they're going to lose all their bees because of this murder hornet. That's what's going to hurt the honeybee population. It's not the murder hornet itself, it's the fear of the murder hornet. Look, what we need to save the honeybees is more beekeepers. Absolutely no other. Now, of course, we need to do what we can do to stop people from spraying the poisons and such and stuff like that. Yes, I agree with that. But also, we need more and more beekeepers in order to keep our populations growing, especially in the wilderness. And I tell people this all the time, people that's just trying to help the honeybee, and they think they failed because their bees swarmed off. Well, no, you didn't. You actually created a swarm that is now somewhere in the woods, in a tree, making more bees. So you got to think about it that way. It's just Barnyard Bees, we've been selling, luckily, people's been buying a lot of bees. We've been selling a bunch of them, and we still have them. We'll have them all the way up till June. And but I'm afraid that the fear is finally going to hit people, because the false propaganda that goes around the media, or whoever, that spreads this stuff about how bad this thing is not good. It's not good at all. And but so far, we're still moving bees, and a lot of them, and queens. I mean, we'll have queens all the way through, heck, through the fall, and still got packages for sale. Anybody needs any. But whether you get them from us or whoever, the point is, get you started in beekeeping. I can assure you, the hornet. Okay, let's say, for example, because they're spotting it now in Washington State, from what I hear. Maybe other states I've not heard of, but Washington State we've heard. Supposedly, the biggest hornet there is, I guess, or pretty close. I know we have one hornet now that we've always called Japanese hornet, but it's not harmful to the bees. I'm not sure what it is. We've always called Japanese hornet. It's probably 1.5 inches long or so, but it's been here for a few years now. But this thing's supposed to be different. It's bigger, and I've watched the videos on it. Yeah, they go into a colony, and they absolutely maul the colony. There's videos up there where you can see them in Japan, and their bees have adapted to when that scout bee flies around, or not the bee, the scout hornet flies around and puts out the pheromone to market for the rest of the hornets to come by and destroy it. They actually try to get the hornet to come in to the hive, and when they do, they jump on it and ball it and heat it up to a temperature not tolerable by the hornet and kill it. But European bees, they're not adapted that way. So what happens when they come into a colony, they can't fight against them, they can't sting them and hurt them, so they don't know how to attack them, because 30, they say 30 will devastate a colony of 30,000. or 50,000, however many it is. Now, but if you, let's say for example that you are fearful of that you just have, you just can't get over it, and you think, well, they're go getting my bees. Look, if it comes down to that, all you need to do is reduce that entrance small enough to where only the honeybees can get in and that hornet can't. That's basically it. In my opinion, that's what I would do. Now, we got a tool that I would believe would work as well, and I don't see any reason that it wouldn't. Is the Guardian. You can take these Guardians, and they go in the entrance. This one right here is mounted. It's already mounted to the reducer. So you got a wooden reducer, and it mounts to it just like this, and it goes in. There it goes. See, it just simply slides in like that, and so now you got a dual purpose excluder. Not excluder, but it's a blocker. It keeps the hive. This thing keeps hive beetles out. And also what it does, this thing's a remarkable tool. This thing here, it'll also keep robin bees out, because it takes the colony a while to learn how to get in and out of this. It's a little bit complex for them, and at first they don't understand it. Now they'll come and they'll try to go underneath of it. They'll go around the sides, try to go through the top here, and they finally figure it out. Then they get into a routine, then they're fine with it. But you got like a colony that's trying to rob. They're really confused. They're trying to poke around over here, poke around here and here and here. And now imagine a hornet that's huge trying to get in that little bitty gap right there. Now, to me, it looks like, see, okay, watch the bee go in. Watch them go. They've not had this on here, so that they're confused at first. Watch them fly around. He's like, she don't know what to do. But hopefully one will go in or come out here, and you can see, okay, see, they barely clear going in. It's like they're touching their head going in, but they do go in and comfortable enough. Okay, imagine a 2-inch hornet. That's about 4 times the head height as a honeybee. They're not going to get in there. So if you're that worried, now right now I'm not going to keep this on here, and I might have to get the hive tool back to get it off there because it's in there tight. There it goes. And the reason being, we are in prime nectar flow over here at the Freeman farm, and these bees, now it's cold, there's not much traffic right now, as you can see. Most of them are inside because it's cold and it's windy. This has been a cold May. It's not been normal. We had frost night before last. I had to cover the garden up. It was that cold. We had to cover the garden up with plastic because we had a heavy frost, got down to 34 degrees in May. That's not done that, they said, since back in the 60s. So that's why they're slow. Look where I was blocking the entrance, and there they go. The bees are, and I was kind of thinking that they'd be a little bit agitated today, because usually when they're confined in the hive, they're usually pretty moody. But they seem pretty gentle so far. They've not come out and tried to attack me, or they're pretty good bees. No, they wasn't so much when I first brought them over here. Now look, see how they're coming in now. But anyway, we're in prime nectar flow over here. They got canola blooming, and clover is getting ready to pop out everywhere. This farm is absolutely packed with nectar. So we're getting ready to hear, and I'm getting ready to add a super. As you can see, we need it. It's past due, which is dangerous when you're getting to where you're filling out all the way to the end, all the way through, and you could be losing it. So we're going to put a super on. But anyway, back to the Guardian. If you're that nervous and worried about bees to the hornet, stick you one of these on here. They won't get past that. Problem solved. So think about that. Don't let that hornet worry you or about not getting into beekeeping, because if you do it right, they're not going to hurt your bees. And let's say, for example, too, that say if they, which they are in Washington State, but they're doing all they can do to try to eradicate them before they get started, it would take years for them to finally get out here. And even if they was right here now, it would take them years to get them populated. So don't let that bother you. But put your guardian on there. It'll keep your hive beetles out. It'll keep the robin bees out to a degree, the robin bees, because they got to learn how to get in there too. It slows them down for sure. The hive beetles absolutely cannot get in there. But like I said, I leave it off until the nectar flows over, because the bees, on a nice hot day, when your population gets built up so much, I try to give them all the entrance that they can get, because you don't want to back them up to this. But when you pull your supers off and they're slowed down and you start getting into dearth, they're not going to be that active. They're not going to be moving that much. You put this in here, it keeps the hive beetles out, and the hive beetles are really not an issue until after the nectar flow. It seems like that's when they start coming in, when you start getting into the hot part of summer. So remember that. I'm going ahead and end the video, and but like I said, don't let those things scare you. It's not the murder hornet I don't think it's the biggest threat as what people think it is if you do the right thing and manage your bees the right way. So don't forget, folks, please, like I said, if you need bees, barnyardbees.com, supplies. We got packages. We'll have them all the way until June, in Queens all the way through the fall. So barnyardbees.com, and don't forget, click on the little bell, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Barnyard Bees.